we're 50 points off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Waves scratch, pumping our sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, where is spent, the culture rich, where reason stands. In the morn of grace, we'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and soaring heights, find your magic in the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. Quite before we do fully get started, now of course today I was thinking between 13 or Need for Speed Unbound, because Scarlett said he was going to do that. Here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you this. Today's going to be 13 for today, just for today, and then tomorrow will be 13 as well. But tomorrow will also tonight's also going to be Fortnite, because we haven't played Fortnite in a while. There's some new updates within Fortnite that I think really are going to be something that some people are going to be torn off with it, because it's not the first time that a company has changed the way that they're offering things, and because they cost so much. Well, the whole reason why a lot of these things cost so much, because within Fortnite, specifically, they have a thing where the cost is going down for you. What you normally receive is basically going to cost you less now. Basically what it is normally the stuff that you had for V-Bucks. If you have spent $1,000 V-Bucks for $9, about $9 pretty much, is now 800 V-Bucks. That is a loss on your end, and a gain for them, pretty much. And they're all doing it because it costs so much more to make this, and allowing for them to serve you your and things like that. Now, of course, that's one of these things within Fortnite, is basically, to be honest, if you're still having and supporting Fortnite, it's your choice. I'm still gonna support them, but I'm just saying, like, if you're really wanting to spend the money, I'm not going to. I will do my best to try not to spend any ounce of my money on it, because they're the whole point of this is that they're reducing the V-Bucks decision because of these data centers and all this stuff. Now it's mostly Call of Duty. Another company dropped COD points in the Battle Pass. You used to be able to get a little bit more COD points in that Battle Pass than what was given to you based on 1,100 COD points now. You used to be able to get 1,300 or 1,400, a little bit more. They're doing that same thing in Fortnite, but they're reducing the cost on these battle passes. Okay, fine. That's fine. But if you're saying that because you cannot afford this, then maybe what you need to really do is actually come back and actually um do something about it. You could have kept those same amount except just increase the price on it. Instead of purchasing 1,000 V-Bucks for that, you should have just increased the price. The price to receive those 1,000 V-Bucks I would be a lot better than reducing the amount of V-Bucks you would receive for that exact same amount of price. You could have increased the price. The 1,000 V-Bucks could have been $10. $10 instead of that $9. It would have been $1 more, but still would have been a lot better for a lot of people. You could have increased the price of the Fortnite thing, of course, for Fortnite, and they could have just increased the price instead of just decreasing the V-Bucks. To be honest, increasing the price on a 1,000 V-Bucks should have been $10 here in the United States, and that's just my opinion. $800 is now that pair of shoes that you want that comes out at $8 is now pretty much $9 than what it used to be for a little bit cheaper. Those things in Fortnite are the whole reason why I only play Fortnite for Save the World and getting V-Bucks that way. I rarely will spend money in Fortnite because of this. Even if I had the money, I still would not. Because I am not also spending my money on Epic Games Store anymore either. For the exact same reason what they're trying to do right now. They're basically trying to reduce your consumer ability to have those things that you expect to get from the best platform right now out of all of them is Steam. Yes, you may be paying 30% on Steam for whatever ever you get, okay, for spending on a game, and Steam takes 30%. Well, that 30% goes back into consumer support. They are now working on absolutely supporting a whole line of operating systems in Linux that allows for Linux users like me to play Final Fantasy XIII, to be able to play games and have the choice. Okay? To be able to have those choices, to be able to make the decision. Yes, you might not be able to play your big AAA titles like Fortnite and things, but you have other ways to do it. You have a PlayStation, okay? If you're really wanting to get away from Microsoft, if you're somebody like me who happened to used to be on the Twitter platform, I'm not on Twitter because, to be honest, the things that I tend to really follow, and a lot of things that I post that, one of my content creators has been blocked on Twitter, shadow banned, pretty much, for basically talking about ill against Elon Musk, because, to be honest, if you talk ill on somebody through X or through things like that, you're shadow banned. Talking about just going there to view for your game content, for like Fortnite and things like that, okay, fine. There are a lot of people that still use X for what it's worth, because X has been around for a lot longer than Blue Sky. Blue Sky was created not too long after the takeover of X. Blue Sky is a decentralized platform that does not moderate what you see and moderate in what you do on that platform. X will moderate you to the algorithm and will cater to what the algorithm wants you to see and cater to what they want you to see in that point. They are pushing ads, they are pushing centralized falsehoods, and when they do, they put a community notes on it, whereas in Blue Sky, they will actually just go out and delete the content and delete it for that purpose. And things like that. Um, so so it's your choice to believe whatever platform you want to be on. It's your choice. I am just telling you, giving you some reasons why I switched over, because I don't want to be controlled by one point or another. I don't want to be controlled by this company. It's the same reason why I am partially away from Windows, because I want to be able to control how I want to be able to do things on my dime. I don't want to be sitting here having to be forced to use AI when AI is, or AI being AI on that platform. I don't want to have to be forced into ads being put into my operating system, because that's what Windows is doing. I don't want to be sitting here being forced and pushed into utilizing certain things on Windows. If Windows was like Windows 9, Windows 7 today, and it was that same thing that happened with Windows 7, I would be more happy to use Windows. I would even be more happy to use Windows 10, to be honest, than Windows 11. But the only reason why I use Windows 11 or Windows 11 now is because I have the opportunity to not be able to use Windows 10 anymore. They basically are taking away your right to force you to onto the Microsoft ecosystem, forcing you to have an email account so they can steal more of your data. Microsoft has been doing this for a lot longer time. Most people don't know this, that the big huge Watson database, those things like that, they are taking that data and using that data against you. That anything that you do on that operating system, if you had a crash at that point and you were watching something that you did not want somebody to see or anybody to see, guess what? Microsoft has that data. Microsoft has that. If you did something that you're sitting here on this operating system and you're happening to be seen doing something that you don't want the world to see, unfortunately, the world will be able to see it. It's maybe at some point when a hack goes through Microsoft or takes control of that data. Okay? Your data is at the whim of Microsoft, not the whim of yourself. Linux, yes, your data is more secure, but the more people that jump on it, the less secure it can become. All of your data that you go through and that you use on a daily basis, the websites that you connect to are already tied to a Linux server. You're already using Linux in some way, shape, or form, but you're on a server level than a service that you're using basically Microsoft. You can use Linux in Microsoft, because Microsoft for in WSL2. But a lot of these places is that your data is at a whim of one company, whereas Linux is at a whim of pretty much basically whatever you decide and whatever you're doing. But, there are still people who cannot switch over to Linux, who can't because for one reason or another they can't, because you have to, because you're so embedded into utilizing programs that you cannot use on Linux. Of course, there are always alternatives. If you're somebody that's using Photoshop, you can always use a GIMP. Okay, is an option. If you're somebody that is utilizing Notion, or not Notion, utilizing the audio suite for Photoshop, you can use Reaper. I've used Reaper before. I've used a whole host of different variety of audio suites. I've used Reaper. I've used Pro Tools. Not I think it's Pro Tools. I might be wrong. It's something Pro something. I even used Apple's version of these audio tools. I've pretty much used every operating system now known to man. I've used Linux, I've used Windows, I've used Apple. I've used all three of those. And for anybody who says that I'm using Linux as it, Linux is the kernel, by the way. I'm just letting you know that that's the thing. But you have your choice. You have the right to make those decisions. But right now, there are a lot of things that are making it, forcing you to go back to Windows or forcing you to use certain products because they want to control your life. They want to be able to take and control you down to the nanometer and control you to each individual point on that. It's the same thing when you go to social media platforms. Okay? If you go to a social media platform, like, for example, X, you're at the whim of the company. You're at the whim of what X wants you to see. X can control what you see. Okay? YouTube. You can control what you see, but Google can say at some point, oh, you can't see that content anymore. You're gonna not be able to see that content anymore because we're just gonna take it off because we don't want to see it anymore. Okay, they have that control. When you go and you are on Facebook, you have that exact same thing. And it's all these platforms. Whether you're name a platform, you have that problem of them controlling you because you're under a company. You're under the company trying to tell you what you can and cannot do. Linux, on the other hand, yes, you will have some whatever your distro you're using, but most of the time you still will have control over your system that you want to use. If you're somebody that uses Microsoft Office, you have LibreOffice in response. You have not only LibreOffice, you had OpenOffice at one point, and things like that. And I am telling you that you can choose to what you do, but just remember that if you see that you have a content creator that's sitting on X that's there, I watch a lot of people who still use X on a daily basis. Trying to get things set up here a little bit, because my controller's not seeming to work with Final Fantasy XIII. I might have to restart the game. But I am telling you that you can choose however you want to do it, but I'm just going to tell you, you have more. You can take control of what you see and what you want to do on a daily basis, more than being forced under a whim of these platforms. It's why I don't use Epic Games. Epic Games is another one of those platforms that basically they don't care about their people. They don't care about the people on that platform. They only care about getting more money and making more money. And if they can do it, they're going to try either way to support it. Yes, they may say 12%, but that 12% that Epic is receiving compared to the 30%, that 30% is actually going towards making sure that when you buy that product, you get 2 hours to play that product before you can return it on a digital platform. On Epic Games, if I buy a game on Epic Games, I cannot return that game because I just bought it. And it doesn't matter if I go and view a process on Epic Games that this process is, oh, I can see what this person is supporting and what this person is doing on that platform. I cannot tell what review is going on, what people are saying about the game, unlike Steam. Steam allows you to play on Windows, allows you to play on Mac, allows you to play on Linux, allows you to play on any platform. On the other hand, Epic Games will not support Linux, will not support people coming onto these platforms. And being able to play on the thing, they basically will not go in. At one point, they will not take that 30% cut. They will not believe in the 30% cut that Apple and Google play. They won't. But at the same time, they're complaining because of that, because they are not getting the people on those platforms to basically having the ability to make that decision. On your phone, they are so complaining that they can't get their game on the Play Store at one point, that they could have easily just created their own store, and what they have done, and they could have been on this platform. And they wouldn't have to complain. They just have to make sure that you get supported over to their point.
Why did I even try to run? What was waiting wasn't something I could change.
You are cold-blooded. Lying so people would trust you. Using them as shields. How many you gotta drag down with you? A coward and a killer. The people you use don't get to live. Why should you? Tired of living with guilt? Then die with it.
I was trying to figure out how to get this to work. It was not working.
Vanille.
My name is Euruide. I'm a lassie from Grand Pulse. And to everyone on Cocoon, evil. Shoot me for your son.
Don't you even! You think you die, and that's that? You think you die and everything will be sugar and rainbows?
Then what can I do? What do you want from me? If I can't live or die, what do you want me to do?
Don't ask me. You figure it out.
I don't know.
Neither do I. It's over. There's nothing to do. Shooting you won't help. Neither will living.
I had another one of these stupid bosses. This is the last time I did play this, was I was trying to complete this.
It's not over.
Okay, fine. You want me? Come and get me!
Now, of course, I will tell you there are three things that I typically do use. I use Gmail. Gmail is a web-based thing. You can still do it off of web-based. If you wanted to use Google Chrome, You can still use Google Chrome on Linux. If you wanted to use whatever operating system, you can, or whatever, let me go to Techniques, Libra here, real quick.
Getting serious now.
Oh, great.
Yes.
I'm telling you that you can't use a Gmail because Gmail is whatever. Your Android is built off of, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, is built off of Linux. So, based on that, you're already using a Linux operating system in some way, shape, or form. It's just a, and to be honest, your Android system that you're using from Samsung, or utilizing a thing, is basically a fork of another of Google's Android.
What was waiting wasn't something I could change.
And so, and to be honest, no, I'm trying to see. Okay, so that's the spell. Rise is gonna be there as well. Which, to be honest, and if you still wanted to use Gmail, you basically, you're just connecting to a web base. Yields to those who amass chain bonuses. Is basically immune to everything that I have now, except it's weak towards ice.
Getting serious now.
I don't know why Archmage would be considered that.
This is gonna sting.
Oh, yeah?
This is gonna sting.
We gotta mass chain bonuses to get this thing. And basically, you know, utilizing a operating system is just your choice. If you want to stay on Windows, be my guest. It's your choice. I'm just giving you the option. Okay, so Synergist.
You could do it!
Okay. I've always had struggles with this one. I'm just telling people that the whole point is you should have control over your own, what you do, and what you see. Because there's been a lot of people that I used to watch that are no longer on X because of that reason. Saying that somebody should be off on X or whatever. You can stay on X all you want. I'm just telling you why you should get off X. But if you want to stay on X because of what they're doing, that's your choice. It's the same thing with Windows. Until I can get a compliant graphics card, I would get off Windows. But right now I can't. Because I don't have a compliance capture card, should say, not graphics card. And policy-wise, it's based off of seeing all the policies and things that they update. It's like if you want to go on Twitter and say that this platform is called Twitter, you can't say that. You cannot say that because basically they have dissented and told you cannot use that name on Twitter on that anymore because Elon basically said that it's no longer that name. It's like, okay, this will then people who's it's like I'm still gonna call it Twitter. I don't care. I'm never on that platform. So it's the same thing. It's like they silence what you want to say. If you have something in it, but I'm wondering if I do not have now healer staff does give me that improved debuffing. We'll do a well balanced. I'm gonna do a well balanced for this. And we'll come back. No, it's all based on what you want to do and that. But I'm just saying that being on a platform that silences you for what you say is not something that you should really be doing. And X is willing to do that. You can still talk if you want to talk about sports. You can still talk about sports on another platform. I've known for people to be silenced on Facebook because they say something, they can get themselves silenced. I've never had that happen on Facebook, but most of the time I right now could still be silenced for what I say because I'm at the whim of the government. Okay, yeah, so Blizzard is better.
This is gonna sting.
Better. And that. So it's like, and it's like when I tell people to jump off from Windows to Linux is something that can be done relatively easily. To me, it's like it's easy to jump off if you still use like email. Your emails, you can still use email. Your email's not going to change just because you're on Windows. You can still have a Gmail account and be tied to and so if you work with a company that basically you are required to have like some app to log in for work. That's a bit different than that, but that's still requiring your phone. That's not, most of the time it would be mostly tied to your phone. Your phone. So it's, and it's like if you have something that needs to be used for email, like there's, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, they'll use Outlook for whatever, or the things. It's like, to be honest, I have a Gmail, and I use my Gmail on my Yahoo. I have my Gmail and my Yahoo tied together because I'm sticking with, because I use Yahoo as my primary. Guess what? I still have access to it on my computer. I pretty much is basically web-based. It's not like you can't go and use, like, if the other alternative is like if you need, like, you still need to have like Google Docs and stuff, you can still use Google Docs on your email, on your web base. It's just basically requiring you to be connected to the internet for it.
Yes.
So it's one thing or another that you can use whatever platform you want. Most of the time, if you're gaming, and you're just primarily gaming, switch over to Linux. Yes, you might have a PlayStation. Yes, using a PlayStation is a good idea for games like Fortnite and these other things. In that process, but I can't go back. I don't think I can go back. I might be able to though. Yeah, I can. I understand that. It's whatever. There's always something that's gonna keep somebody back because you can't go anywhere. But I am not for sure. Most of the time, I usually, if I'm doing Fortnite, like, yeah, the official Fortnite's not on Blue Sky. Okay, that's just one thing. But there's enough people on there that are already talking about Fortnite. On there that I can really know what's going on, and if I need to, I go to Facebook. If you have Pokemon Go, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other places to utilize to find these other things. It's like you always have multiple ways of doing things, but it's the beauty of choice. But that's what I'm looking for though. No, I'm looking for is up in arms. Is it up in arms? No. Okay, so it's not going to be Motherlode or Lenore's Garage because it's never worth to go to the Motherlode, to be honest. And I don't see anything in here. That's not good. It's one of those things that, yeah, I share it, but I wasn't the only one that you know, I can be critical of a platform and still be on the platform. It's the same thing. It's like when sometimes I'm critical of X. You know, I was critical when I was there for a little while. When Elon Musk had it, but then I ended up as basically he had it, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna sit there and be on a platform that is gonna silence for what I speak. Because most of the time, I never really talked about politics until, you know, 2022. But when I got into it more often. So yes, being silenced for what you say is not a good thing. But anyway, that's got auto protect. I'm gonna look up something. Because I'm having a struggle to figure this out. No, we're gonna go to optimize for balance for this. Sometimes if I'm struggling and I can't figure something out, through this, I will use a walkthrough, but there are a lot of people that don't. And back in the day, utilizing a walkthrough to get through something Okay, no, I'm not gonna use. I'll just use this one. Chapter 8. So basically, not useful. Hold on, I'm having a hard time trying to read your chat messages, guys. I don't know, to be honest, with the Chocobo thing. I am not quite for sure. You might. It's been a while since I played 9. To be honest. I played 9 back. I think you can, but to be honest, I don't know about summoning a Chocobo in this one, to be honest. We'll go with Synergist and Medic, just for now. And then we'll go back to this because we need to get chains going. But it's so much a lot easier to run a lot of having more decision and making more choices. But when countries and places decide to take away your freedom to choose and make those things, then I'm kind of it. Oops, Commando, thank you. Then I'm really I'm not quite for sure.
I appreciate it.
that's basically just making sure that you have a decision and making sure that you aren't being silenced for what you say either. Is the other thing. To be honest. It's like the same reason why I will not step foot on Truth Social. Truth Social is not the truth. Truth Social is basically whatever is perceived to be the truth and only told by what is being said to that, and they don't really tell you thank you. Finally.
That's right. Let's do it.
Nice. We're gonna get another Antilleon. Finally took me some time, but we got it. From what I've seen, Glass, storms will probably hit you, but it won't be like what happened before. And most of it is going to be over on the eastern side of Missouri than the western side of Missouri, to be honest. Is where they are saying most of this stuff is going to happen anyway.
A lot of things can be excused. Shooting kids ain't one.
Kindness like his, you don't forget.
Enough is enough.
Oh no. Did he really shoot himself? I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly Glass. A lot of this stuff you're still potential, but the most of it is southern Texas and out west, more eastern side of Missouri and stuff. But that doesn't mean that there's going to be a side of anything, because as most people know,
Do be careful with those. For every task, there's a perfect tool.
the one that the Glass was going to be on last time was going to be on for a long time. Actually, that same day, they weren't expecting Michigan to get really bad storms. So, but you never know. Yep. Sugar and rainbows.
There she is, the Palamecia, pride of the Sanctum Sky Fleet. This mighty flagship currently serves as a prison for the Lassie apprehended in Nautilus.
execution as the climax. The people will cheer their demise, and Falseed Dominion will be undisputed.
All part of the plan.
Yes, but it also presents an opportunity.
In a display of unwavering dedication to duty, the Primarch himself has boarded the Palamecia and focused his personal attention on resolving the Pulse crisis.
They're baiting us, trying to draw us out.
Bait, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Here are your friends. Come and get them.
Well, if they're daring us to mount a rescue, I'll take that action. All in.
Alrighty, bets are on the table. We leave when you're ready. I'll be standing by.
Alright, lightning's in here. Nice. I have that last time I looked at the weather, because I really don't pay attention to a lot of it unless it's really focused in mind, but I just... Hold on. Let's go over to Crystarium. Okay, let's just use our Crystarium thing to... Okay, so we're gonna put you up there. It's gonna give us Rise. I don't want that right now. That's gonna give us Renew. Ravager. That's gonna give us Error right away. Let's do that. Because even though Blindside will get us later, Scourge, so that's gonna give us some roll upgrades there. You're gonna give us Blizzara. Come on. Overwhelm. Nope. Synergist. I'm gonna get Veil right away. That's a good thing. No, I'm gonna go with Ravager for the rest of this. Because I want that Overwhelm. Life Siphon, nice. Okay, I was gonna go for Ravager, but that's okay. Well, no, I just have it in generally in that area glass, because it's gonna, be there. But, let's see, Scourge. Okay. So, basically, Scourge is the only one that's going to be available for that. That's going to give us nothing. That's basically, Arrow Overwhelm is up there. Sentinel is what we're going to need the most. I'll put one up into Sentinel to give us. Let's go for Death Ward. I'm going to learn Medguard. guard, which is a good thing. And this one's almost done. Got 2 there, and then we got 2 there, 3 there. That'll be easy. A survival knife. Okay. Dialogue. Chapter 8. We are now into chapter 9. Yeah, I'll make sure I put it in the right one glass, though, just as an FYI. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going through and reading these guys. If you want to read them yourselves, you guys can pause the video at any point, or the live stream, or wherever you guys are watching. Others, Tillions, Bathilar. Those who strengthen their allies. Okay. Nothing new there. Now let's check to see if we got anything. Unicorn Mart. Painkiller. Removes pain and fog. I'll get 3 of those just off that chance. Got the titanium bangle, which we do not have any. Brawler's wristband. We have 1 of those. Ruin bracelet. Resist to magic by 10%. Resist to slow. We'll get 1 titanium bangle here. Motherload. Don't really spend on the motherload, guys. It's not going to help you at all. So don't even think about doing that. I looked this up. Why can't I spend on this little thing? It's not gonna help. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, we got pretty much about 15 more minutes left of stream. I know it's only been pretty much basically like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour at most. And the only thing, I could go till 6, to be honest. Which I might.
Rescuing Saz and Benil is our top priority. We gotta play it smart this time. I'm charging in without a plan. Listen to me talking strategy.
That's all right. Another cavalry unit rescued him and moved him somewhere safe. I kind of wish I could talk to him, but I guess I have to make my own choices
Come on, let's get this show on the road. I finally found Vanille again. And I'll be damned if I'm just gonna stand around while she's in trouble.
And once we take off, there's
No,
no...
not quite ready yet.
The battle's over.
Okay.
And once we take off...
Once take off, we're not gonna have anything better to do.
This baby back here is a SciComm vessel. It'll deliver you to the Palamisia.
Oh, we're cargo now?
A parting gift to our rotting government. Take those SciComm guys apart.
And we're supposed to take on all of them? I think the whole division's on board.
I don't care how many lackeys they've got. Bring them on. Vanille's in there.
I'm sure she's fine. Vanille's tougher than I could ever be.
Hope, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm terrified. But I'll be okay. Because I have you, and this guy, and Fang. We're all in this mess. We gotta stick together.
Right. Enough with the bonding. It's go time.
What do you mean, this guy?
What do you mean? This guy. But I will specifically tell you it's based on whatever you feel like.
We didn't expect to see you here in person, Your Eminence.
This crisis threatens the entirety of Cocoon, my child. You agree that standing at the fore is a leader's charge?
Wholeheartedly.
It also affords a splendid view of the impending execution.
What's the holdup?
Stand by. Verifying identification code.
You let me land this bird or I'll crash her into your ass. Code verified. You're free to dock. About damn time. All clear. Welcome aboard.
I don't remember this. In Palamisia. I probably do, but I just maybe I don't.
Code red, repeat. Code red. Attention all crew, this is not a drill. Code red.
All right, let's tear him up.
We're here for Vanille and Saz. Stay focused.
Oh, Hope has been... Okay. No, Hope has been decommissioned. Oh, yeah, yeah, Hope has been decommissioned. No. So the Brawler's Wristband gives us a 50%, and Black Belt gives us that. We're gonna give you the titanium bangle, just because we've had that, and it's probably a good idea to equip that. Infiltrator. Now we'll go after the Raider now. Okay. And once we'll get this one out of the way. This one will be nice. Nice credit chip. Good things to sell off.
Looks like they want to play.
No kidding. So where to?
Right up there.
Don't remember inviting you.
We have 99 saved datas already.
You know what to do.
Let's go with the bully.
Change of plan.
Another credit chip, nice. All right. 4 digital circuits. Easy money to sell off. Very easy.
Waiting for us.
Okay.
Won't be going back that way.
We'll find another route.
Way ahead of you. See that?
Let's go.
Okay, we're getting blown away now.
Alright. How long have I know part of that we've talked. For the first part of this. And I know we didn't get through everything. We've been going for about an hour and 17 minutes. I am just going to tell you it's fine. Right now, I think what I'm going to tell you guys is, as we're kind of getting ourselves out the door, we're going to fight a couple of, no, Libra, thank you. Okay. Having it be susceptible to curse, is good. And I'll tell you this, guys, most of my afternoon streams are pretty much basically minimum an hour and a half, minimum an hour and a half, most of the time, so, but I just want you guys to know that Millerite it's like, why? Yeah, no. Yeah, shop, sell components. Sell both credit chips. Those can stay though, and I will sell the Millerite off as well. For it. But I will tell you this, guys. Do they only... Hold on. Do they only allow up to 99 saves? Okay. So that means now we'll just go all the way back up here to the very beginning of the game. And we'll start saving it up there. There. So anyway, I will tell you this, guys. If you guys want to see more of the Final Fantasy XIII, I will be live tomorrow for 13, unless news or things come up and I want to talk, or things like we did at the beginning of this stream, where we do talk a lot of things and I get sidetracked. That happens a lot around here. I get sidetracked. I do a lot of those things where I might not quite get on to live stream, but Wednesday, we'll do 13 this Wednesday, tomorrow, and we'll do 13 on Thursday, and Friday. Friday will be a longer stream for for 13. For that point. And then Saturday will be I will probably Saturday I will hop on earlier on Saturday, and I will be doing some Final Fantasy, some Call of Duty on Saturday and Sunday this week in the afternoons. I might do it in the afternoon on Saturday, for Call of Duty. If Barnacles is not on, I will hop into Final Fantasy XIII on Saturday afternoon. If that's Barnacles is on, then I'll hop on Call of Duty earlier. I will hop on Fortnite earlier at night for that, and then I'll hop in and play some Call of Duty. And Call of Duty will be whenever I go to bed, pretty much. And same with Sunday. We'll follow the Sunday afternoon will be some Call of Duty, or Euro Truck, or American Truck, or Final Fantasy XIII, until basically 7 o'clock that day. At 7 o'clock I will go grab something to eat, get on some Fortnite, and then get on at about 9 o'clock for Call of Duty, or whenever I get the missions done, if there is any. For Fortnite, I will tell you I will still be playing Fortnite even after this update, but I will be voting with my dollar, where I will not be buying these stuff in Fortnite right now. Even if I had the money, I still wouldn't buy it unless there's something really, really, really good enough for me to go out and buy, because it's not worth it. These companies are buying for your money. These companies are wanting to take your money, and they're utilizing this thing where, okay, they're utilizing the forcible of taking your money and utilizing that for their personal gain. A lot of Epic Games, Tim Sweeney pretty much has basically wanting to fight with Steam right now because they're charging 30%, and they're angry because the businesses shouldn't be charging 30%. Well, they charge 30% because they get more. You get more stuff out of it, and a lot of people tend to go and support it. Does Epic Games have a Steam machine? No, they do not. Does Epic Games support Linux? They do not. So if they really cared about their consumer and cared about the consumers, they would be doing things what Valve is doing, what Steam has been doing for years, caring about their people. Yeah, there's might not be everything, but Steam does pretty much basically take care of most of their users. The only other one that really takes care of people is GOG. GOG pretty much basically, if you go out and buy a game on GOG, you can download it and play that game however you want to play it, DRM free. That's the best thing you can do. And a lot of these other places that you should be spending your money supporting those places, supporting companies like that, rather than spending your money supporting Epic Games, when Epic Games is reducing the money cost. Call of Duty is doing the same thing. And it's kind of one of those things where I will if I had the money right now, I actually been thinking about just not spending on any of these games. Trust me, if I get birthday money is not going towards these games. Birthday money is going to go towards games that absolutely are doing the utmost care and supporting these businesses. Where I spend my money on places that support the people over supporting money. Epic Games is making money off of you on um on these. And yes, they might have to cost more cost infrastructure. I don't know what their costs and what their earnings, what they're making every year. But if they could have easily, instead of footing us and charging us more for developers, they could have increased the developer to 15% to charge to keep up those costs, because we have to keep up the maintenance costs. Why can't they just do that with the developers? The developers that charge $70 are already paying 30% to Sony, paying 30% when you buy that game off of these X platform. They're doing that. A lot of these companies aren't there for you. Their bottom line is to make money and care about you less. That's what Fortnite's doing. That's what Call of Duty's been doing for quite some time now. A lot of these places do not care about you. If they cared about you, we would have had, you know, to be honest, the last good Call of Duty has been really Modern Warfare. The old title, the old Call of Duty stuff, when things were actually really great and tied into doing a lot of things and making the game what it is. To be honest, right now all I do is play Call of Duty for the multiplayer and zombies, because and I played the campaign. The campaign was okay. I wouldn't say it's the it's the worst campaign, but it's still not the greatest thing. To be honest, it's whatever. It's everybody has their own opinions, but Call of Duty has been more cash grabby, wanting to make more money by giving you a $30 to buying this battle pass, where I don't spend my money on these Black Cell. I will not buy Black Cell just to buy Black Cell and say Black Cell's fantastic, Black Cell's this, Black Cell's that. It's not worth it. It's not worth spending $30 on Black Cell when I can spend $10 on that game, spend $10 on that battle pass, and saving myself $20, and use that $20 on another game. Use that $20 on food. Use that $20 on something that's actually more tangible and more useful. To be honest, from this point forward, if Call of Duty comes out with a $100 thing next year, and I have a job, I'm not going to spend the $100 on it. I'll spend the $70. Because I'm not going to sit here and play Call of Duty and spend $100 on a game that these things are just cosmetics. Okay, if it's like, and that's fine. But I'm just gonna tell you this, guys. It's time for me to get off. Time for me to go make some supper. Because it's about that point. I'm very vocal on spending less on things right now. If I had money, I probably might spend on these things, and I'd probably be telling you I'd end up buying this because, you know. But to be honest, I would not. If I had a job, I would probably spend it more on things to save that money, save it for something that I absolutely need. You know, right now I absolutely need to replace this chair that I'm sitting in. I need to do things like that and replace this chair, because this chair's broken, kind of not broken, it's just kind of gotten some quirks in it that I need to replace it. And I would probably also start looking at getting an upgraded laptop, and that laptop I will still probably end up using Windows again, just because my computer is not doing so well. But then again, I might just keep this one Windows or whatnot. I don't know. If I had a job, I'd probably save more money for a new computer, an upgraded computer that I can utilize for you to play games on. To be honest, to not play games, but for streaming and utilizing mostly towards Linux over a lot of things. But that's just me, and that's just a lot of things that I personally would do myself. But I will tell you this, guys. Tomorrow we'll get back to 13. Hopefully, maybe I'm not into. Maybe we'll get further than where we're at. But we're at 9. And according to IGN, there are 13 chapters. There are 13 chapters in all in this game, and we're only on chapter 10. So we're getting closer to finishing up this game. We should probably. I'd like to see if we can get this game done before June, so that we can maybe get into another Final Fantasy. And I am going to tell you since this point, once I get done with Final Fantasy 13, I'll probably go to Final Fantasy 2, or I will go to Final Fantasy 10. Going back to PS2 style gameplay, maybe go back to an NES style game. I don't know yet. But I will tell you this, if you guys would like to see this content going forward, and seeing a lot of Final Fantasy 13, Euro Truck, American Truck, Call of Duty, Fortnite, you name it, be followed here on Trovo. If you want to see non-multiplayer content, be followed here on YouTube, by hitting that subscribe, hitting that bell notification with the all. It is absolutely 100% free to do so. So, anyway, we will catch you guys, later tonight for, some Fortnite. So, anyway, we'll catch you guys, later.